Hello, everyone. My name is Daktar. I just got off the phone with a buddy of mine, Scatter, who used to run the reaction channel, The Bar, and we were kind of going over the new song of Upchurches, and he brought up a couple of things, and I just kind of wanted to do a little breakdown to uh, talk about some of my thoughts on the song, some of his thoughts, and see where this leads. So, we're gonna do that now. Let me get rid of the image, pop up the video, and we will get started.
I'm gonna shine till I can't go down. Ride this out till I slide on rails. Make 'em remember the face. My winning displayed in a case. On the other side with the grace. Rewind it back, back, back. Yeah, it's facts, facts. We was built like that. We was built like that. We was built like that. We was built like that.
All right, so the chorus. We'll start with that. Just initially, my view of listening in on this is I have to give credit to Thomas Toner for just the way he built up the music on this. He just starts with the beginning and the guitar, and then slowly starts to integrate in the beat, and it was well done, and just allowed you to ease your way into the song. Another thing, that from the chorus as a whole, it sets the stage for the song. We can notice that by looking at some of the lyrics. Let me switch over to the chorus lyrics. And we'll start at the beginning. I'm going to shine till I can't go dim. Here, this is you know, there's nothing really to break down other than just the understanding of the music industry and what it takes to become something that just doesn't fade away. What does it take to become that Hank Williams, um, the Tupac, the Alice in Chains, the Elvis? You have to have something special about you that enables that people can always connect to. That means that you are going to be listened to, far down the road. And one of the things that to me leads me to fully believe that Upchurch is one of those people is look at his fan base. It's not a fan base that is segregated to one specific thing. You've got people from all walks of life, from all different ages that listen to him. Then we goes into the second part. Ride this out till I slide on rims. It's it's just a wonderful rephrase of a common thing that we've all heard. Ride it till the wheels fall off. Well, that's what he plans to do, is to just keep going until all that's left is the rims, and that's what we're sliding on and driving down the road. Make them remember the face. It is, he wants them to remember, who he was. And it's not wants them, his output is going to make people remember who he was. my winning displayed in a case. On the other side with the greats, again, the people who still haven't gone dim, the people who are still shining. Rewind it back. Yeah, it's facts, facts. This is to me, and we was built like that. This is what I said about tying the song and getting you into it. The video for this, if you saw if you were watching, it showed church sitting in a room writing down lyrics on a old table. There's candlelight. He got it from out of the dirt. The video is kind of harking back to the beginning of his career, where writing in lyrics and getting the ideas out of his head, and it's worked, so it's facts, facts. The product is there. It's not it's not a fake backstory. It's factual, and we was built like that. You know that to me is just a. I think he's talking about his upbringing, his the family that he had around him helped him become who he was. So we'll go ahead and get back to the video. I'm gonna back it up a few seconds.
Feel like that. I wanna be a tall tale, energy in me passed down. Reppin' my city, make maps proud. The way that I'm living, they mapped out. Went from no college, no education. Now my house a whole space station. They blame the Illuminati, say I am a Freemason. Cause it's legendary trail that I'm out here blazing. Rap bag so big that I hate I can't take it. From a 5-speed Ford to a 6-figure foreign. So many sound files in my dome, I'm born. Tell Elon Musk I'ma need more storage. Cause I be living large, so I got a long story. I'ma need a house made of glass, 13 floors. Whole window, don't need a front porch. What I see in my head, don't need a weak door. No turnkey for a keyless Ford.
All right, and again with the video, we're still in that transition phase of the early. If you notice, there's a bunch of different doodles and stuff of an alien and a little flower and whatnot on the table. um, it's a very laid back verse, and the tone of it. One of the things Church is known for is his more hype songs, but in this he keeps everything drawn back and kind of relaxed. So let's go ahead and look through the lyrics of the first verse. I want to be a tall tale, energy in me passed down. The way that he ties lines to lines is just a wonderful thing. Um, Tall tales are literally stories that have been passed down through the family and whatnot. But he's also talking, the energy within him. He wants to pass that also down through further, generations as well. Rep in my city, make maps proud. The way that I'm living ain't mapped out. Uh, just wonderful writing, because, a lot of people think you have to have, this is the way you get to success. Follow this and do that. And Church kind of took that playbook and threw it out the window a long time ago. He doesn't stick to one thing. He doesn't stick to one lane. He's making he's making a little country fork over here, and we got a part over here where we're gonna do some rock. We got some rap over here. You know, it's the amount of different lanes and whatnot that he is in ties back repping my city, something he's always done from the beginning. He's always repped, Ashland City and Cheatham County, but make maps proud. All the different lanes he's in, uh, he's adding a few roads to the map, so to say. And it's also, as he mentioned before, in Die Tonight, places where he's at, GPS don't work. You know, he's from the country and is so country that you're going to need a map. So he's, kind of bringing maps back in a way, I guess you would say. From there, went from no college and no education. Now my whole house is a whole space station. He just built a brand new place for him and his girlfriend, and it's, I don't know if you saw it, but he did some interesting light work in his on one of his countertops, and it kind of gives you that space station esque look. It's in a way futuristic, and and he did this all from humble beginnings. He didn't go to college, he didn't graduate, and a common thing, if you haven't done that, they they blame the Illuminati, say I'm a Freemason because of the legendary trail that I'm out here blazing. You know, the people who are against you are always going to come up with something to attack you with. So, the common one that is used is, well, he's with the Illuminati. Look at the end. I mean, he's got the eye, which is nothing more than a logo that his videographer uses. But I guess you're gonna have to come up with something better to me. Rat bag so big that a hater can't take it, from a 5-speed Ford to a 6-figure foreign. If anybody hasn't seen how versatile he is, yeah, he's not taking L's, um, you know, and he's, again, no college, no education, yet, because of his hard work and you know, his craft, he's gone from, a 5-speed Ford, which could be anywhere, you're not, you don't have to have a lot of money to get into that, to a, $100,000 plus vehicle. So many sound files in my dome, I'm bored. Oh, yes. Church thinks different. He has different stuff floating around in his head, and just the use of words is what I like about it, because anybody familiar with church will know the meaning of the term bored. I don't know about you, but every time I see him sit there and say I got bored and decided to put out a remix, I get pretty excited, because when church gets bored, fire comes out. Tell Elon Musk I'm gonna need more storage because I be living large and I got a long story. Well, um, and this was brought up to me by Scatter about the Elon Musk. You know, my initial thought is the Elon Musk was tying back to the space station, because Elon is known for space, and my buddy said there's another tie-in here, because Elon Musk is also involved with AI, and he's talking about his brain and the sound files and getting full, so he's going to need more storage. So let's go ahead and contact Elon Musk on that. I'm going to need a house made of glass, 13 floors. Whole window, don't need a front porch. What I see in my head, don't need a weak door. no turnkey for a keyless fort. Again, he's still, to me, he's still talking about his, his head, his brain. If you think of, again, space station, and you start thinking of like, places on other, movies that you've seen where you've got different houses and whatnot. A lot of them in space are kind of dome shaped, which ties in with the, sound files in my dome. But he's kind of talking about his head as a house. He's going to need more storage. He's living large. He's got a long story. I'm going to need a house made of glass, 13 floors, a lot of layers. I don't need a front porch. I don't, and what I see in my head don't need a weak door. It's in his head. It's his own place. It's his. So there's no need for a front porch. There's no need for doors. There's no need for any of this because it's his headspace. It's just so well written, and All right, let's go back to the video real quick. Back up.
I'm gonna shine till I can't go down. Ride this out till I slide on rails. Till I slide on. Make 'em remember the face. My winning displayed in a case. On the other side with the grapes. Rewind it back. Yes, facts. We was built like that. 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 I am that country magic for a
one of the things with the second verse is he did add added a ad lib in. Other than that, everything was pretty much the same. But the video was what really kind of pulled me in. In the middle of the video, at the beginning, it showed him, and he was, in the room. And then now, in the middle of the chorus, it shows him coming back into the room, and you've got spider webs. It's been sitting for a while. So going back, he's coming in as him now to look at where he started. And another thing I was also going to point out in the first verse, let me find it real quick. I don't remember which line it was, but there was a line where Thomas Toner used two different layers of church that allowed him to go from the cadence and whatnot that he was at the beginning into where the double layering allowed him to change where the song was vocally and sonically, and I thought that was rather interesting as well. So now we're going into the second verse, so let's see what we got here.
We was built like that. We was built like that. I am that country magic for a demographic. Vision in my words seem photographic. And talking my shit with my teeth ceramic. Only people with 3 eyes will be seen around me. Don't compare me to the greatest on your playlist, cause the greatest on your playlist ain't this. That is no diss, but a tip on my hat lid. I don't wanna be anything that has been. I just wanna spin when the world spins. Track on the disc, got a whirlwind. Let the world hear till there's no one standing on this waterland spear. Rolling up that shake, finna smoke your spear. Hit them in the heart when they approach my field. Come in peace so you can leave in a mail. I'ma stay shining like fire in the steel. dug deep in the darkest soft red hills. I'm
Alrighty, and let's take a look at the second verse. I am that country magic for a demographic. Vision in my words seem photographic. Um, he's just kind of saying, you know, he's that the voice for a demographic of country people coming up. Vision in my words seem photographic. One of the things I've always liked about Church is the way that his lyrics kind of bring you in, that even if there isn't a video, some of his songs you can listen to and you can see what he's talking about because he speaks so vividly. You know, his words are photographic. His words do lend. He's a great storyteller. Then it goes in talking my shit with my teeth ceramic. Only people with three eyes will be seen around me. For those who don't know, when Church started out, he had a nice gap in the middle of his teeth. But as he said, due to dipping and whatnot, he ended up having some pretty bad pain in his teeth. So when he did get to a point where he could afford it, he went ahead and got all of his teeth pulled and got ended up getting implants put in. Funny thing, kind of like you know anything new that comes with Church. You know, I think if I remember right, he didn't have the Lamborghini very long until one of his brothers accidentally ran a four wheeler into it. And with his teeth, he didn't have his new teeth very long until he ended up breaking one of them. So, you know, but he's like, okay, I guess he looks at it the same way as the Lamborghini. It's, you know, it's that's just some extra, you know, character. And only people with three eyes will be seen around me. Basically saying you need to be able to see more. You need to, you know, have that third eye and be able to see things in a wider view. And to me, that kind of speaks to both a loose vision, Brandon, and to Thomas Toner, and you know their views. And when you put all three of the people together, it all comes together. Don't compare me to the greatest on your playlist because the greatest on your playlist ain't this. This is just another wonderful way of saying, you know, there's only going to be one Church. There's only going to be one me. And that's why I said this is no diss, but a tip with my hat lid. One thing Church has always done, he's always tipped his hat to the others who have come before him and have done stuff before him. He's tipped his hat to Tupac, Elvis, Biggie, um, Hobson, Luda, and tons of other people. Um, Hank Williams, Alan Jackson, Charlie Daniels. He's well rounded when it comes to music. He's listened to music from different genres and whatnot, and it shows in his music because he can blend stuff so well. As he says, I don't want to be anything that has been. He doesn't want to be who they were because that's not who he wants to just be the best Church that he can be. But for those who've listened to him a while, I'm sure you've heard High to Six, where he vividly spoke about that exact thing, being the best Church that I can be for my family. I just want to spin when the world spins, track on a disc on a whirlwind, let the world hear, till there's no one standing on this waterland sphere. the amount of different the scheme of this is just wonderful. I do know that Fable mentioned this in his video as well, talking about spinning, the spin, the track, the disc, and the spinning and the circles. The whirlwind spins, let the world hear, and again, it goes back to having you know your music last forever till there's no one standing on the waterland sphere, the earth. Um, Now, here's one of the things that Scatter brought out to me is what the actual word was here. Rolling up that shake, finna smoke this spear. It's an interesting. Uh, Most people did not hear the word spear for this, but it makes sense when you look at the next line. Hit them in the heart when they approach my field. Throwing a spear, hitting somebody in the heart, smoking a spear. As he said, it's not a common use for the word, but he said when talking about smoking something, he said it was commonly a common thing back in the day was, here you want to smoke the log. Well, a log spear, it it connects, and it connects with the other lines around him. The third connection was in the video. He's rolling up something and he throws it into the box. Again, Fable mentioned this in his breakdown. Come in peace, so you can leave in a piece into a million pieces. But it's also again we're tying back into the the supernatural, the alien stuff. Come in peace, common thing when you're dealing with aliens, or come in peace. I'm gonna stay shining like fire in a still. Backwoods, tucked deep in the darkest off-grid hills. To me, this line was a wonderful description, of where church wants to be. He wants to be off-grid. He doesn't want all the noise. Just in a room with his thoughts. The video it showed. And it also reminded me of one of his lines from another of his songs, where he was talking about a damn, the line is skipping my mind right now. It was something along the lines of underground in a bunker, but it just tucked deep underground, darkest off-grid hills. Just the 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 song is just to me very very well written. And I'll talk about this now before we go back into it. The other thing I like with this is when, and me and Scatter spoke about this as well, but in the first chorus and in the first verse, the choruses for this are rather interesting. The first chorus is very basic. It's very, this is church, I'm singing, and this is what we have. And then when you get into the second chorus, they're bringing you get the ad libs added, you get the extra layers added. By the time you get to the third chorus, you've got the full production. And again, looking back and knowing Upchurch's catalog, when you can go back and you can listen to Church, a lot of his early music was carried by Church solely. It was he he had punchlines, and the way he said them, that was what the music was about. And as he has grown through music, you're you, he's becoming a better writer. He's becoming a better singer. He's integrating this in, and then he's got a wonderful producer, Thomas Toner, who can bring all of this together into a wonderful production. And the song kind of follows that same pattern. So we'll get back into the to end of it, listen through to the end, and I'll give you my little final thoughts.
Fire in the steel, dug deep in the darkest soft red hills. I'm gonna shine till I can't go down. Ride this out till I slide on rails. Till I slide on. Make 'em remember the face. My winning displayed in a case. On the other side with the grace. Rewind it back, back, back. Yeah, it's facts, facts. We was built like that. We was built like that. We was built like that. We was built like that.
Alrighty. Um, I do want to say that I do hope that Mama Church enjoys the sunflower beads, as my understanding is that is being given to her. And for those who don't know, um, part of this was filmed in Church's new house, but the main room, for the most part, was actually hand constructed and was hand constructed by Brandon Luce and decorated for the video. So let's give him a shout out for what he does. Let's go ahead and give Thomas Toner a shout out for the production work, and Upchurch for the wonderful song lyrics and vision. And that is it. And I hope everyone has a wonderful time. If you would like me to do some other songs, just let me know, and I'll try to sit down and put something together. Have a great day. Thanks.